Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Day Darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island? I can't. My speaking. Island of Fawnhallow today. Not good for speaking because there is a D&D session in circa 25 minutes, which is why I decided to record Animal Crossing, because I was like, I've got a bit of time, why not? We'll see how it goes. Yeah, this is going to be the first session back. Oh, my stream deck isn't working. Okay, well, I guess we're about to scroll lock. Hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 6:35 PM on Friday, January 10th, 2025. Yeah, it's the first session back for this campaign. Amusingly, I guess we had one last week, or the other campaign, and then one this week, because the other one was pushed back and this one was pushed forward. Just due to ongoing conflicts, essentially. I'm not really sure how this one goes, because this one had like a weirder, I think, cut-off point, where we took a break for holidays compared to the other campaign. The other campaign was like, okay, next thing they're going to do is this, and then we did that, and that was the campaign. This one is like, they're in the middle of a conversation, or something, more or less. I don't really know what's going on, but also the group is like split up for some reason, and I was reading my notes over from previous session and being like, why did this happen? I don't know, but whatever. So amusingly, I haven't actually prepped all that much of this session, because a lot of it has been like prepped ages ago. We're just still sort of chilling about. I don't mean that in a bad way, of course, whatsoever. I always find it very, my friends have said at some point, just being like, oh, Dear Darling must be so bored, just sort of like sitting there when we just have a conversation for an hour about the most banal things, and I'm like, no, it's great every time. The bottom line is, if everyone's enjoying it, then that's how it should be, right? It doesn't matter if it's necessarily exactly how it should. There's no like right way to play, right? Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. This is definitely going to be a bait video where my friends are going to be like, oh, what's a D&D conversation to that today? Sorry, record this before the session. Excuse me. I don't know what's up with my stream deck today. I don't know why it's randomly stopped working. Is it not working for Discord as well? It's not working for Discord as well. Hold on, let's replug it. If in doubt, unplug, then plug back in. That's the controller. I had too many things plugged into the front on my computer, but I don't know which one's which. This one, okay. Unplug. Replug. Let's see if that works, as it loads up again. If not, then I'm going to have to open the stream deck thing. I will say that this little stream deck thing is very convenient, but every time it stops working, I'm like, oh, come on. Just work. Native integrations or whatever. I'm not used to using scroll lock again. It's loading. I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe it'll just forever be loading. In which case, if I forget to cough or, my stomach makes a weird noise, then I apologise. Natural bodily functions, of course, but it's not like you would go into a recording booth and have us play out or anything. What are we going to talk about today? I don't know. I don't know why it's still like this. What has gone on with it? Well, maybe I should open up stream deck. Is it just broken? Let's see. It looks like it should be working. Okay, there you go. There you go, it's working again. Just needed a quick restart. If in doubt, turn it off and back on again. And let's just check. Yeah, it's got working again. Okay, I've gotten too reliant on this, if anything. It's going to be a... What happened to the Switch controller? So I was just looking at my Switch controller, the one I've got plugged into my actual Switch, and there's like this weird... What is this? It's like splattered with... I don't even know what it's splattered with. What is this? Why has it got all this gunk on it? It looks like sauce or something. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a remnant over from Christmas times. Oh gosh, playing some games, sorry. This is just the Make Some Noise episode of Animal Crossing where I just make a lot of ambient noise about the place. Does it feel more realistic? Like you're studying in a cafe or something, you hear all this noise going on. Ambient noise or cafe while random woman on cafe table next to you cleans her Joy-Cons and complains about it. while speaking into a podcaster microphone to an audience of what was a surprisingly high amount of people actually watch the Animal Crossing episodes, if anything. Certainly a strange turnaround. I don't know what all this junk is on my thing. If only this could be more ASMR like. Maybe you can hear it. Can you hear it? I don't know what this is, or where this came from, but me leaving it there, I think, is really the biggest sin of it all. Okay, there we go. It's mostly clean now. Lucky it's a single player game, so it's not gonna mess up me pressing any of the buttons on this. But yeah, ambient noise. Yeah. It's interesting to see all the sort of like ambient noise, not generators, but things you have online where it's just like 24-hour loop. Oh, well, I made it desync. 24-hour loop of some, I don't know, public space where you can hear ambient noise going on. I feel like, I'm not going to say ambient noise necessarily distracts me, but I can't say it would be something I particularly seek out when it comes to, you know, I don't know, like trying to study or something. Actually, the exception to that is I did used to put on like rain noise sound sort of generator site. I used to like listening to that. But that was, I don't know, like I didn't really put it on when I was studying. For some reason I put it on when I played music or something, just to sort of like set the mood. But in retrospect, I don't really think I did it for much benefit. Probably I prefer it without, if anything. Nothing quite hits like the actual sound of rain on a window pane, rather than anything else, but anywho. But yeah, I don't know, bodily noises, ambient noises. I tend to have like quite strong acid reflux. Well, okay, maybe not quite strong, but that's probably exaggerating. I'm sure people have it worse than me. But I have a lot of acid reflux, so a lot of the times after I eat food, my stomach just goes like, gurgles a lot. And sometimes, you know, there's like little like burps that come out. And if you're wondering, no, I cannot manually burp. I don't know. My friend asked me about one time. I don't know how to do it. I tried. Still don't know how to do it. Don't really have much intention to be honest, because it doesn't feel very useful to me. But yeah, my stomach just like gurgles a lot. It also is a reason why I cough so much. So if you ever hear me randomly muting throughout videos, it's because I'm coughing. Something about it, and it's like irritating, like the trachea or something. I don't really remember. The doctors don't super know. Also, maybe that's not the cause. Who knows? At least when I was younger, I went to apparently to a doctor to be like, hey, you know, well, not me, but my parents were like, why is she coughing so much? They were just like, don't know. So the acid reflux is the best guess, and I do have some medicine for it, but it doesn't always help, you know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That is life. Anyway, my body makes all sort of like of strange and funny noises. Like, I mean, ambient noises in general, just existing. Like one ambient noise, which I realise perhaps I get too used to sometimes, is the ring sound of my computer. You know, the worst thing about it is how it slowly gets louder and louder and louder throughout time, because it like accumulates dust, and the fans have to work harder to be able to circulate air through properly at the same rate. I even think I turned all the fans down to like one of their lower settings to make sure it's quiet, because I like the sound of silence, I suppose. Not in the sense that I'm like it's, well, maybe it is meditative. I don't know. I'm not really like a Zenist. That's not one. A Buddhist, I suppose, or anything like that. But I do at least like my peripherals to be as quiet as possible, if possible. Easier said than done, of course, but yeah, what was I what was I going to say about this? I don't really remember. Just like it's quite easy to get used to the sort of like ambient noises which are about the place, and if you get too used to them, then it sort of like drowns it out. Kind of like smells as well, right? When you're so used to the smell of a place, it just becomes second nature to you, and it's not until someone else goes, "What's that smell?" You're like, "What?" And you're like, "Oh, this is like what it always smells like. The smell of an old home or something. I don't know." Smell of X, Y, Z. Everything's got a smell in the end. Also, I just realised that D&D music is not playing. Oh no, it is playing. Hopefully it wasn't playing too loud. I'll pause it for now. Foundry also had, talking about ambient noises, Foundry is the opposite problem, where like I put soundtracks on to make ambient noise for each of the scenes, but for some reason it doesn't always cancel them after I switch scenes. So sometimes it'll just be like 3 random soundtracks playing, and then one of the players will be like, "Hey, darling, I think there's like 3 songs playing," and I was like, "Oh, again." But it feels a bit too quiet, just like not having them, I suppose. So I don't know. Anyway, not many other complaints going to Foundry. The only other complaint I had was like I hope there'd be some way to get the whole PHP and all the other module books on there. I think they are doing it, but for 2024 5th edition, which I'm not using, so obviously I can't take advantage of that. Had to manually put them all in myself. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe in another year's time, the next campaign will be based around a new system. Who knows? Anywho, yeah, ambient noises. What's the best ambient noise? Is it rain? Maybe. I think it's certainly quite a top tier one. Certainly up there. When like, the sound of rain is definitely one of the big reasons I like the rain in the first place. And I think part of the reason is it feels very nostalgic to me. I mean, it brings me back to days of lazy days of not having to do anything or something. You just hear the sound of rain on the window. Although nowadays, sometimes I'm like, oh, this is a bit annoying as well if I need to like go out and do something, but that comes, I suppose, with the practicalities of responsibilities and later in life, right? But yeah, I remember there was this old website I used sometimes. Like, it really is strange the more I think about it. Like, why did I always put it on only when I was also listening to music and playing games? I don't think I ever, to be fair, I never put like ambient noise or something on when I was studying, because I usually like absolute silence when I study. So, with occasional noise from like people outside or something. But when it comes to sleeping, like I can sleep with anything. I don't need a white noise generator. I can sleep in a noisy room. That'll be a-okay for whatever reason. Robot sleeping patterns, but not robot studying patterns for some reason. It's like I need complete silence so I can forcibly shut off all my other senses to focus my brain power on computing whatever is in front of me. But saying that, like there are still ambient noises I remember from. I'm thinking like university time, because like we had like a library in university. And a decent amount of people went to study there, so you might be like, oh, you must have gone to study at the library as well. It's like the perfect silent place. And the honest answer is no, I didn't. The main reason is like it was like such a walk to get there, and I'd rather just like get up, start studying, and then be able to sort of take a break in the comfort of my own space, I suppose. It was actually nice in first year because I actually had 2 different desks in first year. So one I used for actual recreation, the other I used for actual studying, which is super nice. In second year I didn't really have that. Well, kind of, like I had like a small like sitting area which I could have used to study, but it's not very good for your back, I think. Not that I had a particularly good chair, I think. Either way, but still. Now I'm living in luxury with my ergonomic Herman Miller. Ooh, yes, I said that right. Sorry. Humble brag for no apparent reason. But yeah, like there's ambient noises which I remember. Because at least in my first year, I lived by a very quiet place. Like, people would rarely ever pass by my accommodation. Because it was so, like, out of the way. Like, I don't know, it was student accommodation, like, all first years. And there was, like, 2 different places where there would be student accommodation. And I lived in one, which was actually a very nice room, like, spacious room. And it was the entrance to this building, but only, like, 5 people, like, ever entered lived in the same building, and but also all my neighbours were so like quiet. There was like one or like 2 of them who were not that introverted, but we weren't even very close, so we like never really spoke or anything. And then like the other 4 were just like basically like ghosts. I never saw them. Well, no, that's not true, but like conversations were brief, shall we say. So basically no one ever came to like this section of where my accommodation was. Which is a bit of a shame. If anything, maybe I would have preferred to live in a much more lively accommodation. Whether it was basically like a big tower block with a load of people in it. But, oh well, neither here nor there. Le passé est passé. But then in the second and third year, I lived in like a more far out, I suppose, location from a university. main university grounds, I suppose. And then the ambient noises I hear, you know, were just like people, because I live by like kind of like the entranceway to this sort of shared area. And I remember there was like this sort of bridge with like little rivets on it, like tiny mini speed bumps, which you could cycle across. You're not meant to, but sometimes like the workers wouldn't, you know, people like the groundskeepers maybe would cycle across on bikes and things, and that sort of sound of it is like ingrained into my memory, I think. Or people just like walking up and down the bridge area. Good times, I think. Good times. Honestly, nice accommodation. But yeah, anyway. I can't imagine really going to a coffee place to study and concentrate. Like, one of my friends definitely likes doing that. Like, sometimes when we go out, he'll be like, oh, you know, I might go a bit early to go in the coffee shop and, like, work for a little bit and then meet you. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, damn, I can't imagine doing that. I don't know. To me, I suppose, the benefit of being able to work at my own location is the fact that I can, any point, just like, well, take a break, and then, you know, whatever facilities or things I want from my own place is here, right? Without having to, you know, stray somewhere else or bring it along with me. But I suppose it's also like, maybe it depends on like how easily distracted you are as well. Certainly a lot of people, if they have like things near them, it's just like, okay, that's just going to distract them. Because then the thing that you should do theoretically is you have separate spaces for like working, recreation, play, etc, etc. But I've always found it okay just to have the same space over and over and over again. I'm not really someone who gets distracted. Like, if I got something to do, I'll do it, and if I don't, then I don't. Well, at least like when I'm committing, I suppose, to that time. I'm not flawless, mind you, though I can still procrastinate, I can still get distracted. But the spaces thing never really bothered me, I thought. So I understand, like, getting away to the library, to a cafe or something helps sort of, like, for one, break up the monotony, two, you don't have the association of this room is for study or something, and three, it gives you an environment where you're less likely to be distracted by things around you, which is honestly pretty good, I guess. Who can complain? So, from that, there's not really much of any conclusion to be had from it. It's just sort of ambient noises. Just not for me, but if you like them, more power to you. And on that note, I guess I'll round this episode up here. D&D in ETA 8 minutes, what's going to happen? I genuinely have no idea, so I guess we'll find out. But if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been there, darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope we can see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.